Hi everyone, in today's episode we're making ranchero sauce. Now this is a tomato and pepper-based sauce that goes really great over eggs, on your enchiladas, your burritos, and especially chili rellenos. And I'm going to be making a chili relleno video recipe for you coming up soon, so stay tuned for that. So I'm Rockin' Robin, and I'm going to show you how to get the best flavor into your ranchero sauce right after this. Let's get rocking, guys, and go over the ingredients. All right, so let's start off for what we need for the base of our sauce. So I've got about the equivalent of 3 tomatoes here, a red bell pepper, you want to use red because it's sweeter, a poblano pepper, a jalapeno. I have some chicken broth, this is canned green chilies. They're very mild. Some wine, white wine, minced garlic, some yellow onion, some ground cumin, some cornstarch, salt, and some olive oil. Now here's how we're going to get the best flavor into our sauce. We are going to be roasting our tomatoes, bell pepper, and poblano pepper. This is going to give your sauce such a more depth in flavor that you're going to love it. It's going to be great. So just take your tomatoes and we're just going to cut them into sections. Just remove the little core right there, little stem area, and then we're just going to slice them up into chunks like this. We don't want them too small because we're going to be roasting them and we don't want them to just shrivel up. So just cut them like that and place them on your tray over here. I have a foil lined cookie sheet right over here. With the bell pepper, we're going to do virtually the same thing. We're going to cut it in half and remove the stem, and we're going to cut this into strips, a good 1/2 inch wide. And then we're going to place those in our baking pan as well. Now ideally we want everything to lay pretty flat in a single layer, so try not to crowd your pan or you'll have to make do 2 different sets of it. With the chili pepper here, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to cut it in half, remove the seeds, and that's all I'm going to do with the peppers. I'm going to place that skin side up so that it will blister and we'll be able to steam it later and then just be able to peel off the exterior of it. Next, we're going to give our tomatoes and bell pepper and poblano pepper a little coating of olive oil just so they don't stick. And I'm going to take my hands and just kind of massage that oil over all of it. Make sure you rub that skin and then arrange your peppers so that the skin is facing up, because we want that part to blister a little bit and char. And space them out so that every piece is touching the bottom of the pan. All right, I have my oven set at broil, and we're going to place this in at the highest shelf level that you have. So it's about 4 inches from the bottom of the heating element. I'm going to place that in there, and then I'm going to leave the door ajar like this so I can keep watching it. And it's going to take, 5, maybe 10 minutes or so. It just depends. So while we're waiting for our peppers and tomatoes to roast in the oven, we're going to go ahead and start our onions. So I have a frying pan here, and I'm going to put about a tablespoon of olive oil in there. And I'm going to add my minced onions to that. And we're going to saute these for a good 10 minutes. I have my temperature right now starting off at medium-high, and then I'm going to turn it down to medium-low after about 2 minutes. All right, so it's been about 10 minutes so far, and you can see that the bell peppers have charred up nicely right over here, but the tomatoes still haven't done much. So what I do in this case is I will take out the bell peppers that have charred up nicely, and I'll leave the rest in. Now the poblanos are still going. I'm going to leave this one in a little longer too, and that one. Now here, I'll bring these up a little bit. And they're almost there. I want to go another minute on those. All right, the tomatoes took about 15 minutes to char up, and so now I'm just going to take them out of the oven and let them sit and cool for a bit. Back to our onions. Now I'm going to go ahead and add because it's been a good 10 minutes, you can see these look beautiful. I'm going to add the garlic now, the minced garlic to this, and I'm just going to let this saute for just 1 minute. Now we're getting ready to put all of our ingredients together, and one thing we have to do is take our cornstarch and put it into cold chicken broth. If you put it into warm, any liquid that's warm, it is going to clump up. And that cornstarch is just going to thicken up our ranchero sauce just a little bit. All right, so now that the poblano has been steaming for about 10 minutes, we can just peel the skin off, right off of there. And it should come right off, just like that. I'm gonna place it right into my pan with the onions. Everything's gonna go in that pan now. Now I haven't diced up my jalapeno yet, in case you haven't noticed, so I'm just gonna do that real quick. It doesn't have to be too fine because eventually our whole sauce is gonna go into the blender. Now we're ready to put everything in the pot and we're almost done. So I'm gonna add the chicken broth with the cornstarch thickener in there. I'm gonna add the green chilies, the ground cumin. Here's the salt, those nicely roasted bell peppers. And we'll add the tomatoes. Now we wanna make sure we get all of the juices from the pan because there's flavor in that. The last thing we have is, of course, our jalapenos right over here. Here we go, toss those in. And now we're gonna bring this to a boil. So I'm gonna turn the heat up and we're gonna let this simmer for about 10 minutes. Oh, and the last thing I almost forgot. We need the wine. So I'm gonna add the wine to that. And like I said, we'll simmer this for 10 minutes. Let's get it to a boil first and then we'll turn it down and simmer it and it's gonna be incredible. All right guys, our sauce has cooled off enough, I believe, to get in the blender. Be able to put it in there. Now feel free to blend this as much as you want. You know, if you like it a little more chunky, you know, do it the way you like it. And that made about 5 cups of sauce, which is a great amount. Now here, have a look at this. Look at this, isn't that beautiful? This is gonna go so good on my chili rellenos. It's gonna be amazing. So don't forget, now you guys wanna subscribe for my channel if you haven't already, so you don't miss that recipe, it's coming up. That is really, really good, guys. You're gonna love this. Roasting those tomatoes and the poblano pepper and the bell pepper really bring out some really deep and delicious flavor in this. It really makes the dish. So I hope you'll do that part of it. That is the key to this recipe right there. So thanks for watching, everybody. You know, if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and click that button. I'm gonna be making a chili relleno recipe for you, and I'm gonna be using this sauce, and it's gonna be really delicious, I tell you. I've made a lot of chili rellenos working with my dad, thousands probably, so I'm gonna show you some tips and tricks on that. So stay tuned for that. All right, so leave me a comment, everybody. Give me a thumbs up and share it with anybody who you think might enjoy this recipe. Thanks again, we'll see you next time.